Good day, YouTube, or BookTube. Please forgive all the background sound, but today is an excellent day because I get to fulfill at least partially one of 3 promises I made since I started on BookTube. So, yesterday in the mail came 5 copies of my book, The Coffee Thief. Shrink wrapped and everything with ISBN number. So the plan is, this book there's going to be 75 paperback copies, limited edition for friends and family. It's going to be widely promoted as an ebook, which I haven't gotten to yet. But for a limited time, until August 31st, on or before August 31st, fellow booktubers will have the opportunity to get a free copy of my book in paperback form. Limited edition. I gotta hype myself up a little bit, right? The only thing I ask in return is if you have a positive to mediocre review, mediocre thoughts on my book, make a YouTube review. Make a BookTube review of my book. If you have a positive to mediocre feelings towards it. If you have a negative review, send it to me in private via email. Because I can take criticism. I just don't want to be humiliated before the book is even widely available. So that's all. I can take the criticism, but I want it to be widely available first. So if you have a positive to mediocre review you can post on your BookTube channel, please, please, please do so. That's all I ask in return if you want a copy of my book. So, briefly, what's my book about? Well, it's obviously about a person who stole coffee beans. I wrote this book because I wanted my hometown to get the alternate history / dystopia treatment, like I saw in Robert Harris's Fatherland. Fatherland, again, I've said this before, is what inspired me to write this book. So, in short, this is the most experimental novel I've ever made. In the future, I'll show you some of my other books at an undisclosed date in the future. Don't make promises you can't keep, William. So, it's the most experimental book I've ever written. It's very YA friendly, even though it's told from the perspective of a man in his 30s. A first-person narrative of a man in his 30s. But it's YA friendly. I wouldn't say it's kid friendly, but it's YA friendly. For those of you who want a little edginess and bite, like my horror BookTube friends, this is not the book for you if that's what you're looking for. Okay? If that's what you're looking for. It's got a little bit of rape and murder in there, and there's a really gnarly scene involving a wild boar. One of only 3 other people who read my book, who was a Muslim, obviously, was kind of triggered by that scene with the wild boar. So there are some. So I made it as edgy as I can possibly write. But I'm a very tame writer, if you, in all honesty. But yeah, I push the limits as to what my writing capabilities are. So the alternate history and dystopia elements in the book are actually very mild, but I played with those elements. I tried to introduce them into my book. But it's very mild. This reads a lot like a survival adventure novel and a period piece. But the dystopia and alternate history elements are only mildly in play, but they are there nevertheless. And there is an Easter egg to 1984 in here. Um, uh, once you get a copy of my book, you can tell me if you found it. Now, email in the description. I will send it to you via mail. But understand that this is the first time I'm sending anything via mail. Apologies for the motorcycle. Understand that this is the first time I'm sending anything via mail. So it's going to be a minefield for me to navigate. Shipping cost, stamp, return address, mailing address, and etc., etc. And I heard there's like an app you can use now to track your package as it makes its way via mail. I heard about that. I don't have it on my phone, but maybe I might install it. But we're going to have an email correspondence so that there is no misunderstandings. I don't want falling out. Maybe during the email correspondence, we can do we can exchange smartphone numbers so we can do a WhatsApp call. I don't know. Maybe you're interested? Anyway, this offer is for anyone who has a BookTube channel and is willing to review my book. So the first 4 emails that I get saying, I want one of those, I will send a BookTube. Again, we're going to need a back and forth correspondence so that there are no misunderstandings. Okay? It's very important. We have to have this back and forth correspondence. I have to be cautious here. So, email in the description. So, thanks a lot for your attention. And yeah, this is probably the most ambitious thing I've ever done on BookTube. Because I haven't done a massive overhaul. I don't have my own studio or anything like that with the editing. And I'm not doing collabs with other people, and etc., etc., etc. There are a lot of things. There's a lot of things within networking within BookTube that I'm not doing, and I'm not even on Goodreads. But I am going to send you something in the mail. So, thank you again for your attention. Have a nice day.